This is a song written by Jim Steinman for Meat Loaf, and Jim Steinman wrote most of Meat Loaf's big hits. However, Meat Loaf didn't release this song. It was released instead by Bonnie Tyler. I don't know the historical reasons for why that happened. I'd love to hear Meat Loaf sing it. However, it was written. It was in the end recorded by Bonnie Tyler. Became a hit. It's written in B flat minor. This is an analysis, not a performance. Please judge it that way. Why I think this song is one of the best songs ever written, and why I think it's so perfectly written. And I hope you can learn a bit about songwriting from this. Okay? So it's in B flat minor. Now, we can just, especially if we're a guitarist, not being critical of guitarists, but it's tempting to play every chord in the same way. You know, for example, a chord of E on a guitar is generally going to be played in the same fashion, and then a chord of A as well. So on a piano you've got many more choices, and with every choice comes a difficult decision. We could have just played B flat minor like this. Turn around, every now and then I get a little bit nervous and you're never coming around. Turn around, every now and then I get a little bit tired of listening to the sound of my tears. Could have just, and probably it was written like that. However, that's just to show you how it could have gone, okay? What Jim Steinman does is he takes this chord and he breaks it up by skipping the third, skipping the octave, and going to the third up there, creating a very sparse version of B flat minor chord, and then walking it down to emphasize the third, to emphasize the minorness of that. Why are we emphasizing how minor that chord is? Well, there's a reason for it. Everything in this song has a reason. That's how perfectly it's written. But anyway, we're walking down on this first one. Turn around, every now and then I get a little bit nervous and you're never coming round. The second chord does something different. It holds the fifth note and only walks down with the top note. Turn around, every now and then I get a little bit tired of listening to the sound of my tears. And again, only walking down with the top note. Turn around, every now and then I get a little bit terrified, but then I see the look and so only that first note walks it down in these parallel fashion. Why, you're asking? Well, let's see what would happen if we walked it down for the second chord as well. Let's have a look. Turn around, every now and then I get a little bit nervous and you're never coming round. Doesn't really work very well, does it? Especially when I play a wrong note there. Likewise, if we don't walk it down for that first chord and we play the first chord like the others. If the others work so well, why don't we play the first chord like that? Let's see what happens. Turn around, every now and then I get a little bit nervous and you're never coming round. Turn around, every now and then. Very static again, isn't it? Very static whichever way you do it. So that first chord is the one chord that does that. So, what's the significance of this? The significance of this is that this song has been so carefully written that you can't write it any other way. That, to me, is the test of a really good song, is that you take that song and you try and improve it, you can't. There's nothing you can do, because the songwriter has gone through all the possibilities and has refined that song to make it perfect. So you know this is a well-structured song from the word go. That's section 1 of the song. That's just section 1. There's 7 sections, okay, at least. So we've got that. Turn around, every now and then I get a little bit nervous and you're never coming round. Turn around, every now and then I get a little bit tired of listening to the sound of my tears. Every now and then I I get a little bit nervous that the best of all the years has gone by. Every now and then I get a little bit terrified, but then I see the look in your... And we don't go to what we'd expect to go to. Eyes. Da 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 da. We don't. We go to the most distant chord we could possibly go to from B flat minor. What am I talking about? Yeah. Ignore me. We go to the most distant chord that's from B flat minor, which is E major. And I'll prove it. Here's B flat minor. And here's E major. Okay? It's what one of my music teachers used to call God music. Alternating chords like that. But it's actually the devil's triad that we're using. Which would be formed of completely equidistant notes. But anyway, that's aside. The point is, we go to a very unexpected chord. It's not unexpected if you know the song, okay? If you know this song, you probably do, then you don't get so surprised. But musically, turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit terrified, but then I see the look in your eyes. It's so unexpected. It's also a major chord. And it just opens the whole thing out. We've gone from B flat minor to E major. And the whole thing's opened out. And now that we're in E major, which we're only in for this little bit of the song, believe me, it doesn't stick around. Now that we're in E major, that makes sense that we can go to A major, doesn't it? After all, we got to E major from B major, which is the other related chord to E. All those three chords. So we got there from B major, which was... Okay? So the chords got us there, but melodically it was unexpected, because turn around, every now and then I get a little bit terrified, but then I see the look, and you see the E is missing from that. I'm playing all around it. Your eyes. See how odd that note is there. Chord-wise it's fitting, but melodically it's surprising. Now, this song does that the other way around as well. But generally speaking, what it does do is it will use the melody, certain notes in the melody, to link odd chords. But here what we've got is obvious chords, very obvious chords actually. Then I see the look in your eyes. If I just sing that part, nothing seems strange. It seems very boring actually as a tune. Then I see the look in your eyes. But the reason it sounds strange, remember, is because we've been in the C sharp minor before. Put in a seventh there by accident. I hit that note by accident and it made it sound more natural, so I'll just do it again. So now we're in this open chord. I'm not going to go on about it anymore. What I'm going to go on about next is the fact that we go to an obvious chord from here. We go from E major to A major. So it's turn around. This is the second section of the song. Sorry if you're Greek. I was just turn around. And the melody still sits on this A flat. Okay? Turn around. Even though we're playing a chord of A, it's on A flat, and that creates a nice major seventh, what we call a major seventh. Okay? Turn around, bright eyes, and it emphasizes this A flat note. There's very good reason why the A flat is being emphasized in this song. Okay? Turn around, bright eyes. And we're going to emphasize it again. Every now and then I fall apart. Bright eyes. Every now and then I fall apart. And now we go to another unexpected chord. From A major, we just slip straight down a semitone to A flat major, which is an astonishing thing, and I think to me this is the most wonderful part of the entire song, is that particular moment. And the other reason this works so fantastically well, section 3 we're in now, is because the next thing we go to is something very, very familiar to us. It's called the 50s progression. It goes like this. And that is the structure of the chorus, believe it or not, in this amazing, unique, fantastic original song. We are in the most predictable, traditional rock and roll chord sequence. It's not as far out as I'm making it out to sound, because actually that chord sequence is used in everything right the way back to classical music, actually, and still used to this day in a lot of music. Sometimes it's inverted, so that I mean, this is beyond the scope of this, but sometimes it's inverted so that we're really going. Here Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing, be my mirror, my sword and shield, my missionary. So it's still used to this very day, okay? Total Eclipse of the Heart. It's not the fact of the sequence. It is a traditional sequence. It taps into something deep within us because of that, and that's why the song opens out so fabulously at this point, because it's been throwing us off and kicking us around at every turn so far, confusing and confounding us musically, and suddenly it does something so familiar. Around, bright eyes, every now and then I fall apart. And it doesn't even do it at the end of a line, it just does it in the middle of a line. But here we are, we're home. And I need you now tonight, and I need you more than ever. Still hanging around on this beautiful A flat note. And if you only hold me tight, we'll be holding on forever. Third time now. And we'll only be making it right, 'cause we'll never be wrong. So that's the third section of the song. Feels like a chorus. Really feels like a chorus, but is it? I don't know, because this is such a unique song. I think it's the chorus, but it's a matter of opinion. But that's the third section, goes around 3 times. And now we have a very definite bridge, which is section 4. And again, here we are now in the Viva La Vida chords. But we don't invert it fully. We don't go. We don't go to that, which would perhaps be a bit more obvious. We just keep going up, and this creates, I think, a breathless feeling. Together we can take it to the end of the line. And we keep going up onto F minor now, which is a related minor chord to the A flat major. Love is like a shadow on me. And we don't just keep going up to something obvious. We go to, again, a very unexpected chord next. Together we can take it to the end of the line. Love is like a shadow on me all of the time. And we go to B flat major now, which is really bizarre, because you'd think this is now too much, this is now too complicated. This is section 4, the bridge as I call it. End of the line. And I'm just going to have a look at what the melody's doing here. So we're on the A flat. Together we can take it to the end of the line. Love is like a shadow on me. And that's B flat. And B flat minor might have been more obvious, but why do something obvious when you can go to B flat major? And then a bridge. What does a bridge do? A bridge links you to the next passage. And that's what we're expecting. We're expecting the next passage now. Well, it doesn't come. This is like foreplay. It says, no, I'm not going to let you have it yet. It doesn't get it. So we go through the bridge a second time, which is just crazy, but it works. So the bridge walks us up. Shadow on me all of the time, that's the second voice. And then when we think we're back in A flat major, and we think we've got away from that bridge, it's taken us back to the A flat major home key, because this song incidentally is in A flat major, in my opinion, not in B flat minor. It starts out in B flat minor, but the actual song, I would say, is in A flat major. I don't know what to do. Oh no, I've gone back to the bridge. So it takes us back to the bridge, but it replaces that D flat with an A flat. But it doesn't matter, because the important thing of it is that note, the A flat note. So instead of what we get is so this is how it goes. I'll play the whole thing to make more sense now. Together we can take it to the end of the line. Love is like a shadow on me all of the time. I don't know what to do and I'm always in the dark, living in a powder keg and giving off sparks. It's the end of the bridge, and then we get a nice little run for the next section, which is almost like another bridge. I really need you tonight. And what we're doing there is we're going up to a chord of A flat, but it's on a bass of C, and it's got the C's emphasized there, and we're singing the C. Night. We're singing that note as well in the melody. Night. And then we do some very, very odd things with the chords, which I don't fully understand. Forever, which is the chord of A flat, but now on a bass of E flat. Then the chord goes to E flat, but the bass goes to a C. Gonna start tonight. So what the bass is implying a chord of A flat, but we're playing the E flat up top. Does that make sense? Forever's gonna start tonight. But it's not doing. It's playing an E flat up there. Do you see? So it just creates effectively a ninth and a major seventh on the implied A flat chord, and a root bass on a third on the implied A flat chord. So this chord, which has a C in the bass, and it has all the notes of the E flat major in the top. So we've got C, we've got G, we've got B flat, we've got E flat. I'm claiming that chord is actually a chord of A flat, even though it doesn't have an A flat in it, or a C, except it's got the C down there. So that's a very complicated bit. You can analyse it if you like yourselves. So I'll tell you what the chords. I have fathomed the chords to be this. Jim Steinman might disagree with me, and I might be wrong. Okay, but I've fathomed them out to be the A flat chord on a C bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord on an E flat bass, the A flat chord the E flat chord on a C bass, and then we go back to C sharp, sorry, to D flat. I'm not really a musician in terms of flats and sharps, so I get them wrong. And then we've got, just to round it up, just to tie the whole thing up so that we really do know that we have got to the end of the chorus now, we do a 4-chord, simple 4-chord. Okay, that's just A flat, E flat, D flat, and D flat again. Which I've all of those on our E flat bass, and we're back home to A flat. And obviously singing over the top of that, forever's gonna start tonight. And then we come to another section. I've lost count now, but we must be at number 7 by now, or 6. Once upon a time I was falling in love. Do you remember the part that I called the bridge, which was section 5? Take it to the end of the line. Love is like a shadow on me all of the time. Okay? This section, which I'm calculating now to be section 7, because that last bit would have been section 6, it goes back down, it crawls back down those chords now. So instead of, we're going back down them again, okay? So that's a beautiful symmetry. Once upon a time I was falling in love. Now I'm only falling apart. Nothing I can do. Total eclipse of the heart. Once upon a time there was light in my life. Now there's only love in the dark. Nothing I can see. Total eclipse of the heart. I just want to comment on that bit, because we're going down like that the first time. But the second time, once upon a time there was light in my life. And the melody, let's have a look at it. And then the first time it was, which is a nice 6th on that E flat chord. I think it's an E flat chord. Okay, that's how it works in that one. Notice there's a C happening there in the melody, and so what he does, it's a very Mike Batt moment, I think, but it's beautiful. That's a compliment. That C chord comes in, very unexpected and very delicious. And what that does is, you'll know this in your heart. I mean, even if you're not musically minded, I don't need to explain to you that because you know that C chord's coming, yeah. Once upon a time was light in my life. Now there's only love in the dark. Because you know it's coming, the first time it goes around, when you subsequently hear the song, I'm talking about when you know the song. Once upon a time there was light in my life, now there's only love. Then that chord is pulling it away from you because you want that. You want that chord, but you're not getting allowed it. So this is a musical device that relies on knowing the song, because you've got the anticipation of that chord, but it's but because it goes round twice and it doesn't deliver that chord the first time, that anticipation is held back. There's a lovely musical device. I've used it myself a lot, but to me this is a beautiful, perfect example of it anyway. So I'll play that whole section again. This is section 7. I think we're on 7. If I Really Need You Tonight. If I Really Need You Tonight is section 6, then this would be section. I really need you tonight. This bit. If this is section 6, then this would be section 7. Sorry, I wasn't showing off there. Once upon a time, there was light in my life. Now there's only love in the dark. Nothing I can do, total eclipse of the heart. Once upon a time, there was light in my... I'm doing the wrong words. Now there's only love in the dark. And of course, we don't go to the most obvious chord from there. No, there's only love in the dark, because that would be boring. We go ah, which is the chord that takes us up from A flat major. So A flat major obviously goes down to E flat, and it goes up to C, to D flat. So it takes us to that one, and that makes the whole thing sit up on a cushion of air almost. So if you don't understand what I'm talking about, well, sorry. Once upon a time, light in my life. Now there's only love in the dark. We're on the cushion of air. Nothing I can do, a total eclipse of the heart. And this now, I suppose, is the 8th section, really. So there's 8 sections, and I lied. And it's just piano on its own. And then, instead of going to verse 2, we just go straight into an instrumental of the verse. It's almost as if to say, who cares about the words? This is a fantastic, bloody brilliant song. The chorus is amazing. We don't really need to sing the verse again. You know what the song's about now. So we just play the instrumental for that one. Turn around, straight away into the bridge. Turn around, bright eyes. Every now and then I fall apart. Every now and then I fall apart. And I need you now tonight, and I need you more than ever. And if you only hold me tight, we'll be holding on forever. And we'll only be making it right, 'cause we'll never be wrong. Together we can take it to the end of the line. Love is like a shadow on me all of the time. I don't know what to do, I'm always in the dark, living in a powder keg and giving off sparks. I really need you tonight. Forever's gonna start tonight. Forever's gonna start tonight. Upon a time I was falling in love. Now I'm only falling apart. Nothing I can do. A total eclipse of the heart. Once upon a time there was light in my life. Now there's only love in the dark. Nothing I can say, a total eclipse of the heart. And I just want to say that this last section is our 50s sequence again. I can't speak while I'm playing the piano. I can sing while I'm playing the piano, but I can't speak while I'm playing the piano. But that section is, again, I don't want to crudify it into this. But that is what it is. That is coming home again. And so we come home again for that last section. And we actually have the vocals coming in with "Turn around, bright eyes." turn around, bright eyes. And there we are in A flat at the end of the song. Absolutely back feet on the ground, back home again at the end of this amazing journey through those amazing musical surprises. And that is Total Eclipse of the Heart. Thank you, Jim Steinman, for writing such a fantastic, amazing song. And I've been Aaron Wilde, and that's my little analysis of it. Thank you.